Good evening, families, and welcome. We're going to get started as soon as we have a few families walking down the aisle, so if you could take your seat, we will get started momentarily. Again, good evening and welcome to the high school regional countywide application programs for a preview night of what is about to come to your grade 8 students. Students, we are very happy that you were able to come with your parents. We know that you're already adjusting to your 8th grade year, and here we're already talking about what the high school plans may be. But we would really appreciate it while you are here to listen and learn and then have conversations with your parents after tonight's presentation. Following the presentation today, we will be having a table fair. Many of our staff from the county are here, as well as school-based staff members, and we're very excited to have them here to answer your questions. So tonight's meeting, we will be talking to you about the high school strategic plan, what the big picture is over the next several years for your student families that are here tonight, as well as those of you who are watching on live stream. We will talk to you about the application programs. We will talk to you about the process and how to apply. We'll go over a handful of frequently asked questions and remind you of what that timeline looks like. Parents, you have a pink handout. That handout is the timeline or the time of meeting dates in the month of October. So students, as you are listening to the programs that you might be interested in, nudge mom or dad, whomever you're sitting with, and please let them know that you're interested in that program so you can circle that date. The month of October is quite busy. Each of our host high schools that will be housing a program, they will be inviting you to an information night. You'll get to meet the staff, some of the students there, learn about the program that they have to offer. So it's very exciting for you grade 8 students, the opportunities that are coming to you, whether it's at your home high school or one of these regional or countywide programs. We're very excited to present this information to you this evening. At this moment, I would like to introduce Mr. Scott Murphy. He is the Director of the Secondary Curriculum.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you again for being here. Again, my name is Scott Murphy, and as the Director of Secondary Curriculum and District-Wide Programs, my department and many of the staff that you will meet tonight oversee, develop, and support schools in the implementation of all the programs that you're going to hear about tonight. So we really hope that you're able to walk away with really important information to help you make the transition to high school. We would like to just get a snapshot and understand who's here tonight. Could you please raise your hand if your 8th grade student is your oldest? You're going into high school for the first time. Thank you. And how many of you have other kids who have gone through MCPS high schools? Maybe some of them are out in the world of work or in college now. And how many of you have elementary kids still yet to come through? Many of us, and I'm with you. I'm actually one of you. My youngest daughter will graduate in the class of 2031. And so not only am I thinking about high school programs as an educator, but also as a parent. Before we get into the programs, we're going to spend a lot of time tonight previewing our programs and letting you know what you need to do to apply to specific programs. We just want to spend a couple of minutes on the big picture, why we're here, what we're doing at the high school level, what it is that we want all of our students to walk away with when they leave MCPS. And what that is about for us at MCPS is we are preparing our students for a changing future, a changing economy, and a changing set of demands about what it means to be successful in the world, in career paths and in the world of work in today's economy. One of the things I often like to point out is that this class that just graduated, the class of 2019, they began their journey through school 12 years ago in 2007. The first year the iPhone was released. And so to think about the way the economy and our world changed over that group of students' journey through high school and through school, and culminating when they graduated in the class of 2019. We at MCPS, as we develop programs, we are constantly responding to that changing world, that changing environment, and the changing economy. And it's, as we talk tonight about programs, we really want you and our students thinking about not only preparation for college, but also preparation for high demand, important careers of the economy. There's been a lot of work that's been happening over the last several years, starting at the elementary level, also including the middle school level. And that's now culminating this year for the planning for the 2020-21 school year with the expansion of many new programs that are coming to the high school level. Your students, your current 8th grade students, for the first time will have new opportunities that up to this point have not been available. And so you're gonna hear information tonight to get a preview of what some of those opportunities are. We're also opening new facilities like the expanded Seneca Valley High School in the fall of 2020. With a large new building and just state-of-the-art facilities, it opens up many new opportunities that we have not had before. And so programs like that are other elements that you'll hear about tonight. So you're probably here to learn a lot about these special programs and some of what's new that's being offered. But one thing that we also want to make sure that you remember and emphasize is that there are strong programs that prepare students at the highest level for college and careers in every single one of our 25 high schools. Whether it's our signature programs, our academies, advanced placement, AP, IB, the list goes on. These are all available in our 25 high schools that are preparing our students for that economy of the future that I just mentioned. All of our schools, whether you're considering your local school or you're considering an application program, we'll have a rigorous academic program, course sequences that lead to college-level work, programs of study for these in-demand career pathways that I've been mentioning, advanced placement, Montgomery College courses, the opportunity to earn college credit or even an associate's degree while in high school, extracurricular programs, the arts, and work-based experiences. These are all available in every single one of our high schools, and so we just want to emphasize that as you think about special programs. And that's really a balance for us as a system, for us as a school district, is making sure that there are rigorous programs available in every building and that there's open access for students, but also that there are unique programs available regionally or countywide, and that's what you'll hear about more tonight. This is all part of a long-term strategic plan. What you're hearing about tonight that opens in the fall of 2020, or Seneca Valley High School, for example, opening in 2020. This is all part of a long-range plan that is going to be constantly building new programs in our high schools. And so we're really excited for your grade 8 students to be the first wave of a lot of new opportunities that are taking place throughout the system. Two of the key changes that I just want to highlight, and you'll be able to learn more about tonight for this phase 1 of this long-term plan. One has to do with the opening of Seneca Valley High School, and will create many new opportunities, not only with an expanded facility, but also in high-tech, high-demand college and career pathways that traditionally may have only been available at a school like the Thomas Edison High School of Technology, that will now be available at Seneca Valley. So you'll hear about new ways of accessing programs like this in the new facility, as well as the expansion of our IB diploma program. At schools throughout the county, we do have the IB diploma, much like is here at Watkins Mill High School, and we'll be expanding access to that through a new application program that you'll learn about tonight. Before I conclude, I just want to leave you with just a point of emphasis, and it's just what we know about that changing economy that I mentioned before. What we know about that changing economy is that this is no longer preparing students on two separate paths. It used to be either a path to college or a vocational track. And what we know with certainty is that is no longer the case. It is no longer an either or. It is one and the same. It is both. Students need the academics to be prepared for college, but what we hear from employers and what we hear from those who are successful in careers is that it's not just the academic degrees, but it's also the technical skills, the professional skills, the work-based experiences that prepare students for highly successful career pathways. Employers want that complete package, and so as you think about programs for your children, we encourage you to think about all of the wide array of options that are available as your student transitions to high school. So tonight, you're going to get a sneak preview. You're going to get a little glimpse into all of the programs are available to give you an idea of what you want to do in October. Visiting schools for more detailed open houses, gathering more information about specific programs, and then going through potentially application processes. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mrs. Danko to take us through the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Okay, families, you have some handouts that were given to you as you walked in, and as we are looking at the screen, you are going to be able to identify some things that you would like to write down. So there's a capture sheet that's available to you. It's on white, single-sided front and back. If you'd like to take notes on these slides, you're more than welcome to. In addition, you had a white packet that was stapled. That is called the High School Programs at a Glance. And then you have a color-coded packet based on the home high school for your child. They both are the same. It's telling you what the high school of your attendance area will host certain programs, and the High School Programs at a Glance is giving you an idea of what the eligibility is for those particular programs, as well as a simple description. So a lot to take in as you are hearing from me. Again, you can go home, digest that, again, watch this presentation, and we encourage you to go to those information meetings of anything that is of interest. So the slide I'm referencing is our county-wide programs. Our county-wide programs are those that have been tried and true here in the system. We have the county-wide Richard Montgomery International Baccalaureate program. We have the Math Science Computer Science program that's held at Montgomery Blair High School. And here in the up-county part of the county itself, that program is held at Poolsville High School. Likewise, at Poolsville High School is the Humanities program, as well as the Global Ecology program. Again, these programs have been in existence. They're an accelerated pace, and students do go into more depth of that concentration within one of these programs. A note to be mindful of is that this set of programs are criteria-based programs. Students are going to take an assessment on the first Saturday in December if they are of any interest to them. So parents, note that on the capture sheet. Students, same with you. If you are interested in the Poolsville programs, whether it is the Math Science Computer Science program, the Humanities program, or the Global Ecology program, again, you're going to indicate that on an application, but remember, you're going to take an assessment. I mentioned the word criteria. That means you have to become eligible. That means if you're currently in algebra or have already taken algebra, then you would be eligible as long as you're a current grade 8 student and a resident of the county. Likewise, for Richard Montgomery, though it's not noted up here, you also would be asked if you have taken at least 1 year of a world language. So again, you're going to be going back between these two handouts that we have for you while we're reviewing these slides tonight. For any student who might be participating in the MSMC, the Middle School Magnet Consortium, which is Argyle, Parkland, and Loiterman, and I thought when I was out in the hallway, I had at least one student who is at Parkland here tonight. Is that student here? I believe I had at least one student. Again, these students who are attending the MSMC, they will be able to participate in some of the programs because they have attended a DCC middle school. So I highlight that for you. Again, those programs are the PLTW program at the Wheaton, the Communication Arts program at Blair, and the LTI at Kennedy. Noted at the bottom of the screen is the countywide program of the Visual Arts Center. It is a countywide program. It is portfolio based as an entrance. Again, if you are interested in the arts and are interested in attending that school, you certainly can indicate interest in the application that I'm going to reference a little later on. Next, we have the regional and countywide career programs that we are expanding to you, and we're very excited. The first two, aviation and the P-Tech program, or as it's noted up there, the Network Ops and Information at Clarksburg High School, we're very excited to offer these programs. Will be our third year of offering these programs to a certain set of high school clusters. And again, that's when I reference that handout. Parents, you look for your school. Is your child eligible? Is your high school one of those few high school clusters that could participate in either the aviation program or the P-Tech program? You're going to learn a little bit more about those programs with another staff member coming up to the stage. In addition, many of our high schools offer the PLTW. PLTW stands for Project Lead the Way. Again, it's a prescribed curriculum. It starts in 9th grade, 9 through 12. It is rigorous and academic for engineering and biosciences. And it's also housed at Gaithersburg and Wheaton and a few other of our high schools that we'll be mentioning later on. At this time, I'm going to introduce Dr. Genevieve Floyd. She's going to be speaking to you about the middle college at Montgomery College, as well as I mentioned the P-Tech program at Clarksburg.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am delighted to have the opportunity to share with you information about several of our career readiness programs, and I am so glad that you are here to hear this information firsthand. I first want to start with the Montgomery College Middle College program. So parents, if you have always envisioned that your child would go on to college, if you wanted them to continue or you want them to continue the college-going tradition that has already been established, or you believe they will be the first in your family to go on to college, this is an opportunity I want you to pay close attention to. MCPS and Montgomery College, we partnered back in 2014 to provide a strategic pathway for our students from grade 9 to 12 to earn college credit while in high school, enabling them to graduate with a high school diploma and 60 credits towards an associate's degree. So when you think about the time that's invested in earning a degree after high school graduation, this opportunity provides students the saving of time, and it provides you the savings of monies. So if you enjoy saving money instead of spending money, raise your hand. Excellent, excellent, excellent. There is a slight cost associated with this, but when you think about the $40,000 or $50,000, $60,000 that's associated with a baccalaureate degree, the money that is saved in investing in this opportunity is definitely well worth it. So there are a few options. The Northwood Cluster or Down County Consortium, it's opened up definitely to local schools, local students, but it's also open to 16 cluster high schools down county. Up County, Northwest hosts the middle college program, and it's open to 9 cluster high schools in this area. When students participate in this program, they can earn an associate's degree in general studies, and when you think about what's required for a bachelor's degree, those first 2 years basically require that you take general education courses. So while students are still in high school, they can get these courses out of the way, and when they graduate, they can go on and complete their bachelor's degree in 2 years. In fact, we've had 2 graduating classes in 2018 and 2019, and in each year, the students actually graduated from Montgomery College with their college degree before they graduated from high school with their high school diploma. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and not only does it save time and money, but it helps students transition to college. When you go off to college, it can be a shock for many students, and so when you have the opportunity to learn about the college process, when you have assistance to navigate the milestones of college access and college success, you have an opportunity to really provide students with support while they're in high school. Also, I want to talk about the degrees that are offered. At Northwood and at Northwest, students can earn a general studies degree from Montgomery College, and they can also concentrate in a specific area during their senior year of high school. And that could be STEM, it could be science, technology, engineering, math, it could be humanities, arts, languages, communication, health, administration, social sciences. So there are areas of concentration even within the general studies degree program. At Northwest, not only do you have the general studies option, but you also have a general engineering option. So if there are any students who are interested in engineering and pursuing that career field as an option, that program definitely is one that you should look into. So I encourage you to not only look into the middle college options, but I also want to talk about an additional option that Ms. Danko mentioned moments ago, and that is the P-TECH option. So P-TECH is also a degree, a dual enrollment program that allows students to earn a college degree before they leave us. But P-TECH is unique in several ways. First of all, it's grant funded, so it allows all students who are participating in that program to earn a college degree totally free, totally free. So not only is it a free opportunity for students, but students basically get what I call a 4-for-1. With one pathway, students are able to earn a high school diploma, a college degree, participate in a paid internship experience, and earn industry certification. So for students who perhaps don't wish to go on to a four-year institution, when they graduate from that program, not only do they have the degree, but they have certified credentials that allow them to go directly into work. So these are our degree options, and in fact, P-TECH is open to select schools in the Up-County area as well. Consider these. Consider these. If you're thinking about college, it's just a great option and opportunity. I'm going to be in the foyer in addition to Mr. Bowden. He's going to be in the foyer, and Ms. Shapiro, who is way up in the back, she actually will be in the foyer, and she is from Northwest High School. So she can answer specific questions about the middle college program at Northwest High School if you have any questions. Next is, I'm really excited to share information with you about this. So Mr. Murphy spoke to you about the opportunity and the access, and we'll really talk about equitable opportunities and access for students. This is just exciting in itself. First, I'm going to talk about the locations, and then I'm going to talk about the programs. So many of you may know that historically, Edison has been a central location for many of our career programs, and students would catch the bus and travel to Edison and spend part of the day at their home school and part of the day at their high school, or at Edison's high school. Well, moving forward, Edison and Wootton are going to partner. And so students from that down county catchment area will have the opportunity to apply not only to Wootton, but to access the programs at Edison, saving them travel time, if you will. And because of that, they'll have a comprehensive experience. Before, it was challenging for students to have a full experience at their home high school when they were only there for half of the day. Moving forward, because they will be at Wootton, they can participate in various high school courses, AP courses. They can be in sports. They can participate in extracurricular activities. They can do all that they would have done had they been at their home school. So this comprehensive model is exciting. And not only is it going to be at Wootton Edison, but it will be at the state-of-the-art facility, Seneca Valley. Students will have the same kind of programmatic options, application programs available to them as well. And they'll be able to stay in that comprehensive high school setting and take art courses and take a variety of courses and still take those career programs that are available to them. So we're going to have access available to between 100 and 125 students from that catchment area, and they can apply to participate in these various programs that I'm going to talk about momentarily. And over the course of 4 years, we're talking about providing access to 500 more students down county, 500 more students up county. So students can really embrace the opportunity to get a jump start on their career, if you would. So central office is going to manage that lottery process to make sure all students have an opportunity to participate starting in grade 9. But although we're opening that up to a full school comprehensive model, we have not forgotten about those students who may not have decided what they want to do until grade 10 or 11. So we're going to keep the part-time model in place, so students who decide later on they want to access these opportunities will still be able to do so. Now on to the programs. So we have worked Over the last year, Mr. Murphy has been leading us in an effort to identify programs that should be regional programs. These programs were not chosen haphazardly. We had to look at data statistics, we had to speak with the state, we had to look at employment projections, not only for next year, but for 10 years down the road. We need to make sure that students are accessing career fields that are not only relevant today, but will be relevant when they leave us and as they plan for their own future. So we'll be offering these as application programs, up county and down county. Construction, you cannot drive up or down 270 without recognizing the need for constructions, and that is a skilled workforce. All of these, in fact, are high wage, high demand, and high skilled opportunities for our students. The same with hospitality and tourism. So we have large industries that are coming into the DMV area, from Amazon to Marriott to Choice, and hospitality industry is one of the fastest growing industry, and we need employees and employers in that field. And the same applies for healthcare. We can't go wrong with healthcare. There's always a need, there's always a demand. Information technology and cybersecurity is desperately needed, not only in our local lives, but when we're looking at what's happening in the government and globally, we need experts in this field. There are a large number of job opportunities, but we need skilled workforce individuals to fill those jobs. So that's going to be offered, as well as Project Lead the Way. Again, engineering, a nationally recognized opportunity for students. So all of these are going to be available, open to this up-county catchment area and the down-county catchment area. And again, my colleagues, Mr. Wootton, Ms. McLean, we're going to be here to answer questions after this presentation is over, and we will not leave until all of your questions are answered. So thank you for that. I can go on and on and on, but instead, I'm going to ask Ms. Libby Rogervold to come up, and she's going to talk to you in detail about the IB opportunities that exist for your students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Floyd. I'm thrilled to talk to you about the IB and MCPS. If your child's interested in an internationally recognized program, interested in learning an additional language, and interested in service learning, the program encourages both personal and academic achievement and with an overarching theme of international mindedness. The IB program aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people who go off and make our world a better place. The framework encourages students to think critically, challenge assumptions, and learn in both local and global context. And the IB diploma program is offered in 8 of our high schools. We also have the IB career-related program. That too is part of the IB organization, recognized internationally, additional language requirement as well, and connected to their career-related program of study. The IB career-related program is offered at Rockville, here at Watkins Mill, and will be offered at Seneca Valley. One of the things that distinguishes Richard Montgomery's countywide magnet is the 9th and 10th grade cohorted classes. We are excited to announce that MCPS is opening access and opportunity by creating new IB regional programs to allow students choice at JFK, John F. Kennedy High School, Springbrook, and Watkins Mill for 2020 and 2021. These new regional programs will have the same structure of the cohorted classes at Richard Montgomery. But to hear firsthand the benefits of IB and MCPS, I would like to introduce Brian Ventura. Brian began his IB experience as a middle years program student, and he is now an IB career-related program student as a senior studying Project Lead the Way engineering. And he's going to share with us how he chose the IB program here at Watkins Mill. Brian?
So, as she said, my name is Brian, and I've been doing a career program, or just Project Lead the Way, since my freshman year. And I'm a senior this year, and I'll be graduating with IBCP, which is IB a Career Program, and I will be graduating with also Project Lead the Way. In my school, I do Project Lead the Way. I also do 3 IB classes, and that's in an additional class called PPS. PPS is called, in short term, Personal Professional Skills. And in that class, what we do is for a whole year, we talk about culture, the workplace, and we talk about just the real world and everything and how you connect it to engineering, Project Lead the Way. And we connected with like every single type of situation, with ethical dilemmas that you'll face in workplaces and just almost like every single type of situation that you will face in your workplace. So for my case, engineering, we talk about the ethical issues in engineering. We talk about the culture, the diversity that we will see later on in engineering in our future. While that, PPS is a 3rd semester course. So in our 3rd semester, which I'm taking this year as a senior, as our 3rd semester course, we do, for a whole semester, we talk about it for a whole semester, a whole project, a whole essay that will talk about an ethical issue that we will face later on in the future. So my question, for example, should AI laws be regulated in America or across the world? So you can think of millions of answers that people will give off. Should AI laws be regulated? No, yes, this is the reason why, and all that. So in my school, I've been doing IB since almost in my freshman year. I took pre-IB, I took IB classes, and there's also science courses, there's history courses, there's also English IB, there's almost every single type of IB, even IB math. And those courses challenge you and prepare you for college. In those classes, you get taught how to do all these classes and like in college, and they prepare you like in senior and junior and sophomore year and freshman year. You're gonna be faced with all these challenges that you'll be doing in college. So throughout your whole entire high school year, you're gonna be doing these things that you're gonna be doing in college. So every single IB class is just preparing you for what you're gonna be doing in college. And each single step of the way, leading up to senior year, you're just getting closer and closer and closer to college. And at some point in your senior year, you're just gonna feel like this is how it's gonna be in college. And yeah. Lastly, I'm gonna be talking about the MYP project and my experience with it. So the MYP project is a project that I did in sophomore year. Every single sophomore in IB has opportunity to do this MIP project. And this MIP project is about whatever you want to do. You can do a project about about anything that you would want to, and you get to talk about what your interests, anything that you're interested in. In my case, for my MIP project, I'm a music student at the school, and I'm really interested in music. So the first thing that came into my mind was, let me do a project about music. And I did a project where I built my own instrument, and I built it out of carrots. So I built my own instrument out of carrots, and I talked about that. I played it, I showed it off at the MIP project fair, and I showed it off, and that's a whole project. And you get benefits to that. You get SSL hours, you get noticed at graduation, and it's a whole fun experience. It's like a project that you've never really done in your middle school or elementary school. It's a project that basically defines you and just who you are as a person. So, yeah.
Well, thank you again, and he will be out at the tables with the IB staff that are here with us this evening. So students, if you do have questions about the coursework that he's taken, any of the extracurriculars, feel free to stop by and visit there. So parents, you have been taking some notes. Students, hopefully you've been taking some notes and listening intently. You're hearing from some dynamic staff that we do have with us in MCPS. And I want you to know that they're going to be ready to answer any of your questions. For those of you who had questions regarding the countywide programs, whether they were at Poolsville, those 3 houses that Poolsville has, and or the IB, again, Ms. Libby Rogovoy can answer questions for IB. Ms. Kershana Dean is here with us, and as well as my staff will be out in the back to answer a few questions for you. We have many staff members that are here, and eventually they will be excusing themselves to go set up for their table fare. I would like to be able to talk to you at this time about the admissions process, review a few FAQs, frequently asked questions, and again, remind you of that timeline that you have on that pink sheet. So as they leave, we'll continue on. So some of you, as Mr. Murphy asked at the beginning of the presentation, how many of you have had students who've gone through the college application process or have completed Montgomery County Public Schools or high school students? And several of you did raise your hand. Many students who are going through this process are completing a Common App. And we are very excited to say that we are creating a one-stop shop, a Common App for these high school, countywide, and regional application programs. So we want to tell you how we're going to get you started. Grade 8 students, how many of you log into your Chromebooks every day, your MCPS Google account, you're logging in, you're checking your work, you're working with your teachers? Raise your hands. You all are doing it. You all know your MCPS ID? Then you're going to be good to go. All right. So parents and students, you will be getting a letter very soon on or about October 4. On or about October 4 in the student and or parent portal in the document library. And inside this will be a letter of eligibility for every student in grade 8. So parents, if you don't have that MCPS parent portal started up, don't fret. You can always sit next to your student because they're always logging into their account. And or we do encourage you, please, to set up that parent portal because the high schools do use those very frequently to communicate. And you can check on the students and how they have been performing. Again, what you see on front of you on the screen is an example of the eligibility report that will be provided to you. Every student will get a personalized letter. It is based on your address. It is based on, the eligibility is based on the coursework that you have already completed in grade 8. And at the bottom and throughout the second page of that report will be the listing of all the programs that you, that child, is eligible for. And we list those out, again, a little description, and then if you're interested, at the bottom of the page will be the link. And that link will be pre-populated. It will be pre-populated with your preferred name, your first and last name, your student ID, as well as your base high school. And as long as that is confirmed and parents, you enter in your email address, you will get that receipt of any application or any interest that student, your student, has indicated. So it's about 3 or 4 pages long. Again, you're indicating interest in any of the programs. The first set of programs that will be available to you are those that are called interest-based, and then the criteria-based, and then some disclaimers for parents to say, yes, I understand what my child is indicating interest for. Okay? So once that is completed, you're going to receive that email. That email is going to go to the parent email address that you've indicated on that first page, and you will get a receipt. And it will list everything, each and every one of those programs that your child indicated. Again, as I said, the top portion of the email will indicate the interest-based, lower half of that email will give you the criteria-based, and then there will be some live links. In addition to that email, you're also going to get a PDF, so you can easily print out the information that the student indicated interest. Again, a hyperlink for some other information in the criteria-based. If you're interested in any of the criteria-based programs, whether it's the Poolsville program, I'm targeting my up-county families right now, countywide criteria-based programs, You are going to need teacher recommendations. Again, that link is available on this receipt. Again, students, you're going to be asked for some supplementals. You're going to let us know what you're interested in. We're going to ask you to tell us what you're passionate about, and if you've received any awards during middle school. Again, it's going to be short and sweet. Again, similar to the College Common App, we're not asking for a lot of written essay. Please know that, parents, of those of you who've gone through it. But for our grade 8 students, again, it's going to be online. You can find this in the parent portal. Parents, you can follow along again with them, or you can open it up in your portal as well. So, this is just highlighting where you can find this information of what I've just shared. Again, any information you want to know about the programs that we have presented tonight, you can just go onto the MCPS website in the search box, type in special programs. More information will be available to you, and including the handouts that you have with you this evening. Again, we've mentioned that My MCPS student and parent portal more than once. So if you don't have that account, please work with your local school. They certainly can help you set that up, parents. Students, you already have access to it. Again, on the left nav bar of the document library, on or about October 4. Again, that link is personalized. Remember, if you have moved from about September 20th on, some things may have changed for you. If that's the case, our office's phone number is available, and you can call us, and we certainly can work with you. If by chance I have a private school parent who is here, again, on the special programs website, we will have a link for you also to complete that application. The number one thing you would need to do is go into your neighborhood middle school, provide particular documentation, and they can provide you with an MCPS student ID. So if I have any private school parents here tonight, please make sure that you contact that local school to find out what materials you would need to bring in so you could secure that MCPS ID. Okay, again, I have highlighted a little bit of the countywide programs and how I would apply. Again, it is going to be an online application. Online. Now, for families who might speak a different language, we will have a PDF available, again, on the MCPS website, the special programs, for you to follow along. But the student, you certainly can use the electronic tool to submit your information electronically. We will encourage that. Again, if there, for any reason you would need to do it a different way, you certainly can work with our office. Something that's highlighted on that screen is that deadline. Deadline to submit your interest online is November 1. We're nearing the end of September. You have that pink piece of paper that has all of the mini dates for all of those information meetings. Your child will be able to access the online link on or about October 4, but you need to make sure you submit it by November 1. Remember, these programs are optional. Your student has a high school that they can go to. It's however you're being articulated to in that articulation pattern that the system has designated. We encourage you to find out what's available at the local high school. What we're talking about tonight, and as I remind you, are regional and countywide programs. Your local high school may offer a unique program, a unique signature program or an academy program that does require a separate application. You would need to find that out for the local high school, should that be something of interest. And we do encourage you to find out what your local high school has to offer. So again, visit the school's website. You can check in with your middle school counselor. Our team has gone out to meet with many stakeholders in this system, and we have gone out to meet with those middle school resource counselors, so they're very well informed of what the process is going to be, and they are very willing and excited to work with you. Likewise, today, I was out working with the high school resource counselors. We're informing them because we know you're going to call them to say, what does the school have to offer and how can I apply? So we want them to be able to support you as well. So what is involved in the application process? So if you're interested in any of the lottery programs, and again, on your programs at a glance, there's a parenthesis after the names of the program. It'll say like lottery or criteria. Lottery is just that. You're going to put your name in the hat. We have limited number of seats for each of these programs. It will be, if I have more interest than seats available, a lottery will be run. You will be invited, or you will get a wait list number, and we would contact you in that order. Again, initial invitations, and you will have a certain amount of time to accept. If you're on the wait list, should a vacancy occur, again, we would go in that sequential order. Again, as I am referencing these programs and how we are running it, remember, it's based on the geographic eligibility. So you might be interested in a program. However, if your high school is not listed on the high school programs at a glance or the programs by high school, you may not be eligible during this first round. Should you be interested, and we do have space, we certainly will market that in the late spring. But we are very excited about the many opportunities that you have available to use, and we would encourage you to take advantage of as many as you are interested in. I've alluded to, and I will go into it a little bit more, but criteria-based means there's a little bit more to do. So criteria-based means there will be a selection process involved with being invited into one of those programs, whether it's one of the regional IB programs that you heard about at Springbrook Kennedy or here at Watkins Mill, or whether it's the countywide International Baccalaureate program at Richard Montgomery, or the Poolsville Math Science program, the Humanities program, the Global Ecology, and a few others. We will be looking at a variety or multiple measures that are available. So again, how the student has performed on the report card. Again, you're going to take that outside assessment on that Saturday, December 7th. And again, it's an above grade level. It is a reasoning ability, so know that. And again, report cards. Again, I will mention a selection committee will be reviewing that information, and students would be invited, could be placed on the wait pool, or it could be said that there's not a space available at this time. Again, we are communicating with you on how to apply in a one-stop shop application, and the communication of results will also go out to you. So whatever you have applied to, you will be communicated with in one letter. So you'll see information about all of the programs that you might be interested in, and then you can make an informed decision. That will happen in or about the first day of February. And then the schools will host welcome meetings. And by the end of February, you'll be asked to make a decision which program you would like to accept. Transportation is provided from Central Stops to each of our programs. It is not within the neighborhood. That means parents, if your child is invited to a program and they're very excited about it, you are going to have to get them to that Central Stop. The bus will take them to and from, but again, it's not going to be within the neighborhood. So that also is something that you would need to take into consideration based on the activities your child is involved in, the family involvement, how much other extracurricular activities they are wanting to be a part of, and again, how can you stay involved with the high school of choice. So again, keep that in mind as you're making informed decisions. Have those conversations. Students, keep that in mind, knowing that you want to get involved with so many activities at the school, whether it's your home high school or a school that has a particular program. We're very excited, though, that we have partnered with Montgomery County as well as the Ride-On Bus. And again, 365, 24/7, as long as they have their MCPS ID, they can ride the buses as well. So it's something to consider. Again, that's taking a leap. If your child isn't already learning how to ride the Ride-On buses, parents, that is a way that you can navigate, especially if they're interested in some of the extracurriculars in the afternoon. So I have alluded to, and I ask that you keep that pink paper on your refrigerator or on the bathroom mirror or however you would like. Plug all of those dates in your phone. What is on the screen now is that timeline of the many information dates that each of these host schools are offering. And if your child is eligible, and if it's part of your high school region, you can attend any of these meetings. We encourage you to, if that is of interest for your child. I will tell you, after working so closely with each of these coordinators, we want the students to have a say in these programs. Now, parents, you're very excited and you want them to be a part of it, and definitely you are working with them to become young adults and make informed decisions. But again, if we're signing students up and then they're saying, no, I don't want to be a part of it, then we're going to be going through the wait list. So we really, truly want to fill our programs with students who really want to be there, and we're very, very excited about these programs that we have to offer this coming year. So again, just highlighting the timeline. In early October, that eligibility report is going to be in the MyMCPS student and parent portal. Read that letter, scroll through the bottom, Click on the link if you're interested in participating in any of these programs. It doesn't hurt to try, and you always have the right to say, nope, I'm not interested, and I just want to stay at my home high school. I like what my high school has to offer. That's absolutely fine. But if you have the opportunity, we encourage you to take advantage. Again, those applications, as well as reaching out to the teachers for teacher recommendations for those criteria-based programs, all due November 1. The teachers have till sometime in December, but they need to be notified by December 1. In late January, early February, as I noted before, information will be coming to the houses, and you're going to find out if you got invited or if you're on the wait pool. Okay, so we're very excited about that time. And again, remember, you're going to be registering for your home high school classes. That's not to say you should not do that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. We just want you to know that this is the timeline and that you'll make a decision by late February. So at this time, we are going to conclude the presentation. Again, we have the table fair. The staff has gone out. They've set up their materials to answer any of your questions. If you would like to learn more and a little bit more in depth, always search the MCPS website. You can log on to, as I said, special programs in the search box. Click on High because your child is going into high school, and you'll learn about those programs. The program office phone number is available on that screen, as well as my office, the consortia office, as well as an email address should you have any questions. We'd be happy to get in touch with you. We thank you so much for coming out this evening. It was a gorgeous day, a gorgeous evening. We really do appreciate that you've given us this time this evening. And if you have a moment, if you could log in on your phone and provide us some feedback, we'd greatly appreciate it. At this time, I would like to conclude our presentation and encourage you to go out to the table fairs to speak with our staff members. Thank you.